but at a cost. Your taxpayer dollars could soon be used to send children to private school.
This is controversial new legislation that aims to send $6,000 vouchers for families who opt out of the public school system. And this is specifically for students who go to underperforming schools. That means schools scoring in the lowest 25% of the state's rating system.
This map proves, though, Georgia is not alone in the fight for educational freedom. School voucher legislation has been introduced in at least 10 states, including our neighbors to our east in South Carolina. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon live at the state capitol in downtown Atlanta. And Doug, you spoke to lawmakers on both sides of the issue today.
Yeah, we did. Good afternoon to you both. You know, the issue that critics take with this is really simple. It's that it would take taxpayer funding away from schools, and not just any schools, but as you mentioned, public institutions that are really struggling here and could probably use those dollars. But we did talk to the bill's author today, and he said he considered that when authoring this legislation.
In my bill is a requirement that before the bill launches, public education has to be fully funded.
Senate Bill 233, sponsored by Senator Greg Dolezal, survived crossover day and is now in front of House lawmakers. The $6,000 grant it wants to dole out to families could be a lifesaver for those who want to but can't afford to get their kids alternative educations.
So we've just had a number of parents that have approached us that have been looking for an option to public school. That may be private school, that may be virtual school, that may be homeschool, but they couldn't afford it.
Georgia stopped ranking public schools during the pandemic, and Dolezal's bill would require that they start back up again so they'd know who was eligible. But Senate Democrats, who didn't afford the bill a single vote in the Senate, weren't comfortable diverting any taxpayer funding from public education.
When you're looking at the bottom 25% of schools in this state, they are in highly impoverished areas for the most part. And what those students, those families need is resources and help to tackle poverty.
Senator Jason Estevez also warns that not everyone who qualifies will benefit. Some families aren't anywhere near the private schools they want to enroll in, and they often cost way more than $6,000.
That's money that can be used for our classrooms, our public schools.
Another concern, private schools aren't currently subject to the same testing and accountability standards as public schools. Dolezal says his bill addresses that too.
So I've got 3 of my kids are in public school. They don't even have annual testing. So the kids that are part of this program will have more testing, more standardized testing that will be made public than anybody in public school.
And the price tag on this bill is $200 million. We also asked how these applications would be reviewed and allocated. We're told that that will be done by a third party. We're in downtown Atlanta tonight. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
Let's